Wait on me and I will lift you up. Call on me and I will answer you. If only men will pray, if only they will wait. There's power in my name to bless. Unlimited resource of heaven's supply, waiting for the church to pray. If only men would pray, if only they will wait. There's power in my name to bless. Unlimited resource, unlimited resource of heaven's supply, waiting for the church to pray. Call on me and I will answer you. Call on me and I will answer you. Wait on me and I will lift you up. Call on me and I will answer you. Angels standing by, waiting for the call, coming from the ones who pray. I have paid the price. I have paid the price for everything you need. Just receive them, just receive them as you pray. Call on me and I will answer you. Call on me right now. Call on me and I will answer you. If you wait on me right now, wait on me and I will lift you up. Call on me and I will answer you. Call right now. Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. This is Still No Conference 2025. And today is the semi-final. And if you've not been following from day 1 till day 5, you've been missing a whole lot. From day 1 till day 4, it has been such an amazing session. So if you've been watching alone or if you've not even been following one session, I really don't know what to tell you because you missed a whole lot. But thank God for YouTube, which has given us the privilege to go back and rewatch all those videos we missed. Please go back, rewatch all those videos you missed. I want you to put into practice everything that has been taught. This No Conference is one information that we shouldn't take for granted. It has been packed with a whole lot of powerful speakers from all walks of life. And today we are going to be having another speaker who is going to be teaching us quite a whole lot. I'm still your host, Oda Priscilla. And before we call on the speaker, I want Mrs. Stella to give us a few words of information.
Hello everyone, good evening, welcome to day 5. Really, like Priscilla said, welcome to semi-final. Yeah, then tomorrow we round up. So this is our first session for today, and I'm so glad to have you join us again. And I'm so glad to be having one of my own Coach Tega Omogo, coming to speak to us this evening. Remember once again that this is a place of encounter. This is a place of impact. No Conference is not just one of those conferences. This is a Christian faith-based conference, and we are here to learn at the feet of the Lord. This is a conference where we are questions as parents, caregivers, or any position you occupy in the life of children, know that when we gather here at No Conference, we are here to receive from the Lord. And this evening, we are here once again to receive from the Lord. Yes, the word I was looking for was significant adults. We're here to receive from the Lord once again. If you've been here since we started on Tuesday, I believe you have gained. This is another time to listen. And we're looking at a very important topic that talks about peer pressure and influences. You and I will believe that it's not news. Even adults go through peer pressure, go through social media influences. But then, how do I help my child? How do I help my teenager? How do I help that child in my life? That's what we're here to discuss. And I'm so happy we have the right person for the job this evening. Once again, stay focused. God will be saying something to you you need to hear. Stay focused, learn, be open minded to everything the Lord will be saying to you. Ideas will be dropping, answers will be dropping, revelations will be dropping in the course of this conference. Some people have called me to say, in fact, I've been gaining. This is what the Lord has been saying to me, or this is what the Lord has told me in this conference. In case you have not had any yet, tonight could be your night. This evening, our two sessions this evening are powerful sessions. Please don't miss anyone. Don't just attend. Invite your neighbor, invite your friends, share on your status, share in your family group, your church group, your fellowship group, your organization group, everywhere you think you can get people who should be hearing what you are hearing today. Please share and also help us grow this YouTube channel by clicking on the subscribe button and notification button so that whenever we post anything, you're able to see it. Once again, I say welcome. Don't forget to write, very necessary, because these are notes you can always refer to. Don't forget to write. Don't also forget to journal the things the Lord is also telling you in the course of this conference. For me, I'm also writing down the things I am picking also from this conference. Once again, you're welcome. Let's stay tuned and just enjoy the best of God's presence as Coach Tega ministers to us. Thank you so much. Over to you, Priscilla. Yeah, Priscilla, over to you. Hello, Priscilla, are you there? Could it be network? Okay, while we wait for her, I want to believe it's network. Let me check and confirm. Yeah, but if you've been in our sessions, so we started yesterday evening was something else when Coach Berekele was here. He was just giving it to us back to back. If you have your notes with you, I would like us to share what did you get from any of the four sessions we had yesterday while we wait for our studio. For me, I got so many things from yesterday. So many things. If yesterday evening didn't make you pray for your sons, then I don't know. Yesterday evening got me praying once again for my sons because of the many, many, many things that were said, that he said. He told us yesterday that no son came to the earth without an assignment. Every son here on earth came for an assignment. Anyway, I'm trying to contact our studio to know what's happening. Every son is here on an assignment. Says 7 keys to raising wholesome boys, he said, must be purpose driven. You must see your son beyond the boy, but you must see your son beyond the boy. You must see the king in him. And then, if your son is being raised as a king, know that your son will reign, or your son can reign. Every son was born for a ministerial activity. And he explained ministerial activity being that it mustn't be pulpit activity, but every son that's something God has deposited in every son, in every boy, that he's supposed to carry out. It says, help your sons find purpose. Our jobs is to help our sons find purpose. It says, seek prophetic insight early about your sons. Seek prophetic insights early about your sons. Observe their natural gifts and passion. Our job is to observe it, help them discover themselves. Help them discover themselves. He also said, one of the greatest gifts you can give your child is to help them identify themselves. Helping your sons identify who they are. He also talked about speaking prophetically over your son's destiny. What do you say to your son? When you speak about your son, what do you always say? He says, speak prophetically. Speak God's word at all times over your son's destiny. And then the next one, he said, remind him who he is. Always remind your son who he is. There is a father's business every son needs to go about. There is a father's business. Jesus said, I must be about my father's business. And he told us that every son has a father's business he must be about. So what's your son doing? Remind him of who he is. You are a king. You are royal. Always remind your son of who he is. He said, always help your son know who he is in Christ Jesus. Know his identity in Christ Jesus, because identity shapes destiny. There's so much to say. Please, Priscilla, are you there now? Studio, can we have you?
All right, sorry for the break in transmission. Light and NEPA has been something else. So before,
Yes,
let us
yes.
proceed to watch this short video of our speaker.
Tega Omogo is a visionary person passionate about behavioral change, specializing in mental health and addiction therapy, substance abuse education, and youth mentorship. As an author, NLP practitioner, a trauma-informed counselor, Tega Omogo is a visionary person passionate about behavioral change, specializing in mental health and addiction therapy, substance abuse education, and youth mentorship. As an author, NLP practitioner, a trauma-informed counselor, and positive psychology expert, she empowers individuals through her organization, Tega Omogo Consults, providing life skills and coaching for transformative personal development. Tega coordinates Back to Light Foundation, supporting youths in their journey from addiction to sobriety. A trained United Nations substance abuse educator and member of the ISSUP and CIND, she actively contributes to substance abuse prevention and recovery. Through school and community programs, she educates and inspires youths, believing that they are the nation's most vital resource. An experienced public speaker and trainer, Tega has spoken at events like the FIDA Africa Regional Congress and has been featured internationally and nationally on various TV platforms. Based in Abuja, she balances a professional life with her family, thriving with her husband and their beloved son. Welcome Tega Omogo as she speaks on the topic, Standing Strong, Helping Your World Deal with Peer Pressure and Social Media Influences.
Good evening, Ma.
Hi,
Good evening,
hello.
Ma. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. Good evening. It's so good to be here. Hi, Priscilla. So good to see you. Thank you for
We are
having me.
super excited to have you here once again. You look very, 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 very beautiful this evening.
Thank you. And you
Nigeria
also
has
look
got nothing
beautiful.
on you. So, so beautiful. Sorry
You
for the
also
whole network issue. Welcome, and the floor is all yours.
thank you. Thank you so very much. I just want to say thank you, Priscilla. Thank you for having me, and thank you, my darling sister Stella. You're such an amazing woman. I've never seen anyone so passionate. Um, you do what you do with a lot of love, and the thing I know is it's not even funded by big organizations, but you have stayed true, you have stayed consistent, and you have stayed passionate, and I celebrate you and I celebrate the work that you do. The Lord will honor you, and you will not miss your reward in heaven. And even on earth, you will receive your reward. And even all the team that work with you, God bless you all. Thank you all for doing this. We know that you see these days we see that evil thrives. I want to celebrate all the speakers that have come on. Many of them I've worked with, many of them I work with, many of them I see their work, and everybody that has come up prolific, and there are people that are passionate about the work that they are doing. It's not just the work that they are doing, it's what God has given to them to do. So I celebrate everyone who has come up here. These are conversations that should be held because evil thrives. And the reason evil is thriving is because good people are not speaking. So when we have opportunity like this to speak about stuff that will benefit and inspire people, I jump at it. I jump at it, whether it's paid or free or whatever, as far as we're able to hand the next generation an advantage. And that's what I'm about. Because a great generation, according to Fela Durotoye, is the generation that is able to hand the next generation an advantage. And that's what we're about. We need to start having these conversations because too many things are going on, and the negative voices are louder than the positive voices. I was having a conversation with some parents yesterday of some private universities, and I was in tears. At some point, there was a time we used to say, oh, don't send your children abroad, because if you send them abroad, you'll not know the child that comes back. And then now it has become, even in Nigeria, even in our climate, where we think we own the host, the rights, we own the sole rights of discipline and all of that, we're still having a lot of issues. So it's obvious that it is not the environment, not the physical environment. It's obvious that we need to start from the home, which is the unit of the family. And when we get it right in the unit, in the family, it will ripple out into the society, because that's the first unit. So it's so important. It's very common these days, and my topic is how to help your words deal with negative influences, peer pressure, and then social media influences. So it's very common to see young girls, even those in junior secondary school, they spend a lot of time on social media. There's always one TikTok challenge or the other. In fact, there was one that they were choking themselves. There was a choking challenge. That one, when Gen Z will say off me, that one off me, because they're actually supposed to be recording themselves choking themselves, and quite a number of them actually did choke themselves to death, and it was recorded because they put their phones there to record. So there's always one trend or the other. Snapchat is something, is off the roof. We have our children blocking parents. Our children are blocking us from seeing what's going on their Snap. So if you like, be on Snapchat and say, oh, I'm going to be there, I want to be a cool parent. They don't want you to see what they're up to. Because some of them, they are one thing at home and there's something else. I know too many people like that. Too many. Because it's my line of work. When I go to maybe a school or a church to speak, I'm always on a counseling line to just, counsel people that will need to speak to someone, because they feel like their parents overreact. So they're always looking for one cool auntie or cool uncle that they can share stuff with. And so I'm always on counseling line. And many times when you listen to some of the things that these children have to say, they are not happy with the life that they're living, two separate lives. But hello, mommy, you don't understand. That's why. So we have too many of those. They should be focused on their studies, of course, and building their future. But instead, they are chasing likes. We are the new drug. Yes, we have our new substance use. hard drugs and all of that. But there is also the addiction to likes and attention and trends that they don't even understand. That's why these days, I think I'm of the opinion that even if you're going to give a child a mobile phone, you need to monitor what's on the mobile phone and monitor how they use it. Monitor, because even if your child doesn't have a phone, their friends will have a phone. When they go to hang with their friends, they see their friends' phones and then they use their friends' phones. So it's really amazing. So I really like that we're doing this. And so I'm going to share my slides for us to be able to follow while I am doing this. Sorry. Okay, so we're talking about overcoming peer pressure and social media influence. Okay, you can see. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so this is what the topic is. Bottom line, we're supposed to be able to know how we can help our children overcome peer pressure. So what is peer pressure? Peer pressure, of course, we understand is the influence from external people to act in a certain way. It can be good. When it's peer influence, it can be good, it can be bad. So there are different types of peer pressure. Now, we will say there are 6 types of peer pressure, but I'll remove 2 because out of the 6, 2 of them is positive and negative. Yeah. But because it's pressure, it's almost connotes as if it's negative. And then there is also direct pressure, there's indirect pressure, there's spoken pressure, and there is unspoken pressure. Now, indirect pressure is when the person, is like your role model or a person that you look up to is doing certain things and you begin to want to do them. If you notice, even us adults, you notice that there's someone you like the way they speak, or there's someone you like the way they dress. All of a sudden you start seeing that you want to start buying clothes like the person. You see, oh, okay, that is something like this person wore. Oh, it's something like Adejima wore. It's something like my pastor's wife wore. It was really beautiful. That is actually an indirect pressure that they're putting in you, or you're putting yourself under. Direct pressure is maybe when someone that there's an imbalance of power and the person is like, no, you need to start dressing like this, you need to start looking like this, you need to start talking like that. It's against your will, but you just feel like, well, I don't want her trouble, let me. And as much as we say that, oh, it's children, they fall for peer pressure, we also fall for peer pressure. Then there is spoken pressure. The person outright tells you, do so. Then unspoken, the person doesn't do it, but they tease you, they bully you, they threaten you, and all of that. Then peer pressure can be subtle. Most times it's subtle. Most times you just say, if I were you, no, don't sit with us. That's why, just me and my friends. Oh, no, it's just us. No, in a clique, there is a clique. No, we'll just buy our own ashrabi. No, we don't want too many people. We don't want to. But as subtle as that is, you may be like, big deal, what's there? It has such strong impact on our self-esteem and our mind. And then the person will be like, oh no, I want to be accepted. Many of us want to be accepted. So if we in our adulthood want to be accepted by people that we like and look up to, how much more a teenager or a young adult whose brain has not fully matured, who is still trying to find themselves, who is still trying to form their identity. So you can imagine how powerful it is. Also, I said it can be positive or it can be negative. How does peer pressure affect children? Now, risk-taking behavior. Because their brains have not fully formed. And so they will not be able to really, really make right decisions. That's why we still need to guide them in a lot of ways. Then there's sudden personality shift. One moment your child is the normal child that you know. The next moment you see that the child has gone to school and come back. All of a sudden he wants to be talking and be doing his eyes like this or doing his hands like this or dressing a certain way. You're like, okay, what's going on? Do you have new friends? But it takes a parent who knows their child to know that there is a sudden personality shift. I'm always asking, every time I speak to parents or speak to guardians, I'm constantly asking, how well do you know your child? I use this example in the Bible. This is when King Solomon, this is, I think, when he woke up, and his first case that they brought to him was the 2 prostitutes when one slept on her baby. And then When they brought the case to him, what did they ask him? He said, that what did they say to them? What did he ask them? He said, how do you know that this is not your child? And that one just said, I looked closely and I saw that it was not my child. I looked closely. So those two children must have looked alike for that other one that swapped them to think that she can get away with it. Because if my child is dark and your own is light skinned, you will not be able to swap now. It'll be like, excuse me, it's a no-brainer. But two of them had to have had a form of semblance for them to have thought that they can swap them. So the woman knew, she looked closely. So you have to know your child to know that your child has changed. How again does peer pressure affect your children? Pressure to conform. If you don't build a child's self-esteem, they would follow. It's called head mentality. They will follow what everybody is doing when they've left the house, because your child must leave home. If you think that you can protect your child forever, I beg you, school them at home, nursery, primary, secondary, and university. And when they graduate from university, let them go to youth service in your house. Then when they finish youth service, let them work in your house. When they finish working in your house, let them marry in your house. If they marry in your house. Let them now have children in your house and stay in your house. But as long as they will grow up and leave the house, you must put inside them, because when they go, what you have put inside them will show. Whether you have put or whether you have not put, everything will show. That's why some people will do something and someone will say, who brought you up? Who raised you? That's the question you start to hear. And at that time, you will now start hearing stuff like, God forbid that my child marries a child like this. I know someone who said to her friend, if my child brings your child, they're friends. If my child brings your child and says that's the one I want to marry, I will reject it. All of us, I opened my mouth wide. I'm like, oh my God, why did you say that? She said, because she's not taking time to bring this child up properly. And that was an eye-opener for me, because people can tell. What you cannot tell, your eyes are laced with love. So you may not even be able to see the part where your child is misbehaving. So somebody else is the one that will be able to tell you you're doing it wrongly. And we should be able to accept and say, okay, am I doing, what should I do? And of course, go back to the one who created the child, who gave you that child to steward. The next one, how does it affect children? Fear of rejection or being left out. I have a fear of rejection. And sometimes that is self-inflicted pressure. That's self-pressure. You now want to be like the people that you think you look up to. Be like the people who think they're the cool ones. Be like the people who are the happening ones. And then you forget yourself. And then you jump in and begin to behave like that because you're afraid of being left out. It happened to me. And that's how I got into substance use, because I didn't want to be left out of a group of people who were friends, my friends, who I thought were my friends. They were my friends at the time. And anyway, I was young. I didn't know better. Many of them are still my friends till tomorrow. If I call them up and I'm in trouble, they will help me. If they call me if they're in trouble, I'll help them. However, at the time, the behaviors that they were exhibiting was not something I was going to pick. But because I didn't want to feel left out, I jumped in. That's how peer pressure affects our children. So what is social media influence? It is the influence. It is self-explanatory. The digital world shaping real world behavior. How social media is shaping our real world behavior. Exposure to curated lives and scenarios. One of the things I always say when it comes to this is many of us are looking at the digital world. Somebody's 5 minutes, somebody's 2 minutes, because it's how long does it take to take a picture or do a video? At most, your reel is 2 minutes. So you see someone's reel of 2 minutes and you compare the entirety of your life to 2 minutes of someone's life on social media. Many of us don't even realize that. It happens to me. Sometimes I'll say, chick, or some people are just living the life. Why do I have to work? I'm always working. I just ran away from a wedding to come here. Owambe is going on somewhere. But I could have been there. But I said, well, there is a bigger assignment than for me to be dancing in Owambe. But I could have said, I need picture, I need videos for reels so that people know that I'm not all about work. I'm not all about this. But hey, I remembered who I am and what I'm meant to do with my life. And so I carried myself like I came here to teach. Social media influence happens to the best of us. That's why it has been designed to keep us addicted. That's why you see that a person would let me just look at one reel. You look at one reel, before you know, you scroll, scroll, scroll. Check your phone. You will find that you have used that app for the last 2 hours, and you will not feel like it has done anything to you. It's doing us more harm than good. Because if you sit down for 2 hours just watching reels, you have burnt data, you are lying down when you should actually have got up to go and do other things. So social media influence is very real. What are the effects of it on our youth? Comparison culture. This is what I talked about earlier when I said, how can you compare 2 minutes of your life, 2 minutes of someone's life, to the entirety of your existence? It happens every time. Then they will now look and say, oh God, I'm suffering. My life is over. A boy I know, 15 years old, on social media, saw that his friend put up on social media, oh, the new iPhone 16, and oh, my mom just gave me as a gift, and just put it there. It's not true. Because when they even showed it to me, I said, I know this boy now. I know him. I know it's not his phone, because I know his mom would not give him a phone like that. I know his mother. And then, honestly, the one who saw the phone and was getting upset with his mother, guess what? He has an iPhone X, iPhone 10, because he's 15 years old. And then he told his mom, say, you see, this boy has the iPhone 16. I told you to even just upgrade my phone to iPhone 12. You did not do it. Now look. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, just put something there. Let me see that you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you, ma.
Priscilla, if you can hear me, just let me know you can hear me. Let me know.
Yes, we can hear you. Yes, we can hear you. Please go on.
Okay, can I go ahead? Okay, fantastic. Okay, so the boy was now comparing himself, and then he has an iPhone X. iPhone X is iPhone 10. And then he started complaining, oh no, look at this and all of that. The truth is, the one who had the iPhone 16 didn't really have it. It was his mother's phone he was using. But you have an iPhone X. That boy who you thought had an iPhone 16 doesn't even have a phone at all. But he just borrowed his mother's phone to do that video and put it on Snapchat. Or you have an iPhone 10, and then you were already making trouble and throwing tantrums at home. Luckily, I know both boys, I know both parents. And then I told the mom, I said, it's not his phone. Because that one called me and said, talk to this your friend. Why would she buy an iPhone 6? I said, no, I don't think so. And then I called her and she said, no, he just used my phone. So you have compared your good life to an untruth. And then it has cost you so much stress. These are the things. Comparison culture. Some of them, and there's so much filter on social media. Some girls will now use filter, their skin, their body, they will give themselves the shape, everything. And then you will now sit and say, oh my God, my life is, and I'm useless. It happens. They are young. They are impressionable. Their minds are not, their brains are not even fully formed. So they would behave like that. It is not, we will not, you won't just start insulting them. What we need to do is speak to them. I'm going to share a few videos from a movie that I watched very quickly. And you will see how communication, language is very important. Language is so important. What more effects? We're addicted to likes and screen time. I just talked about watching one reel. Let me just watch one reel before you know you have done 20 reels in 2 hours. You have sat down in one place. Sedentary lifestyle is messing with your health, is messing with your mental health, is messing with your finances because you're burning data, is messing with your eyes. Social media helped me. I'm not saying that social media is all around bad at all, because one of the things that social media did for me is that it helped me realize that there's a life out there that is not waiting for you. There is a way that you will be living in your own world. You'll be thinking that your life is perfect until you come out and you see people who are doing major things. Then you begin to tell yourself, oh, I can take this step. However, too much of everything is wrong, is bad. So we must teach them also that go in there, come out. There is something called moderation. Everything in moderation is key. The next thing is confused values and blood boundaries. The amount of things that go on social media, when you see people, you just see people that are loving each other. Oh, God, when? Like Vicky James and her husband. Everybody shouting, God, when? God, when? There are many God, when that we have done and we have entered trouble. Our children are looking at the way people are spending money on social media, and they think, now if you hear some of them, they'll say, school is a scam. Education is a scam. I went to an IDP camp to go and speak, and then one girl burst into tears because she asked if someone could pay for her school fees so that she can go back to school. And then somebody got up and said, we will do that. And she burst into tears. So when I asked, is there anybody else who will want for them to pay their fees? One girl just looked at her and said, education is a scam. Me, I just want money. And I understood where she was coming from. Social media, when you just think you just jump. Nobody wants to grow through process anymore. They just think, let's just get the money. And that's why we have too many things, too many girls that are dating men that they have no business dating. We have too many boys that are trying to get into, what they call this thing, internet fraud. Too many things going on. And it's the effect of social media on the youth. What is your role as a parent? You are your child's most consistent influence. You are your child's most consistent influence. And it's very important that you know this, because first of all, you are the first voice that they heard. You are the first voice that they heard. You are the first voice of reason that they heard. You are the first voice of caution that they heard. Even in the womb, that's where we start our influencing as mothers. Even in the womb. Many of us don't even accept that. We don't even want to know it. But that's where it begins. However, when the children, and that's why they tell fathers to also talk to their children. Talk to them while they're in the womb. Because you need to be having those conversations. If you're not having those conversations, you are going to be, you're not registering your voice in your child's life. The next one is connection over control. I'm going to play a few videos. They are 1 minute. So it's a secular movie, but there were a lot of things to learn. This is why they also say that the children of the world are wiser than the children of light, because many of us don't take time to listen to our children. It's good to pray, it's good to go to church, it's good to do all of these things, conferences, everything. But the bottom line is, you are going to go back to God, who gave you these children, and you will give account. When we're talking about the talent, we're constantly saying, oh, I will give account to God, oh, I must do my talent, I will make Jesus proud. Hey, will be many, oh, all those things. You will make Jesus proud. Another way you make Jesus proud by being a parent is by being a parent, because he will ask you. That's why they say Judgment Day, there's a book that is opened. This is what you were meant to do. How did you guide this child? How did you leave this child to fall? Look at what happened to Mephibosheth in the Bible. He was rough handled. He wasn't handled properly. And so he fell and he broke his legs. And because of that, he wasn't able to walk. I think it was his caregiver that dropped him. Are you dropping your children by not taking your place as a parent? Are you dropping them? Are they breaking in the realm of the spirit? Are you breaking their bones in the realm of the spirit? Are they falling from your hands and their legs and their knees are breaking? What is going on with them in the realm of the spirit? Because you are not their most consistent influence. And so it starts with you. It starts with you reparenting yourself. It starts with you being consistent with your own life. That's the truth. If you cannot stay consistent, you cannot be a consistent parent. If you cannot be disciplined, you cannot be a disciplined parent. And discipline is not flogging a child. Discipline is the way of life. A parent, one day we're going somewhere, church people, and then the traffic, we were in a hurry, of course, but traffic lights stopped us. And someone was there, a leader with her children in the car. She picked the traffic. I couldn't believe it. When I caught up with her later, I said, why did you do that? Your children were in the car. She said, oh, we needed to get there early. I said, it didn't matter, because you need to start. Meanwhile, you'll be telling them, if nobody else does the right thing, you make sure you do the right thing. But you have no moral right to say that, because you don't do it. So they know you as inconsistent. And guess what? It registers in their subconscious that you are not to be trusted. It registers there. That's why you will tell a child, go and tell auntie that I'm not at home. It registers in their subconscious that it is okay to do that, one. And then two, you are not a consistent parent. So one day when you tell them, they'll tell you, you have no moral right to tell me to do this or not. Stay consistent in your character. Stay consistent in your behavior. Stay consistent in your words. Stay consistent in your discipline. Stay consistent in everything that you do, because you influence your children. They do as you do, not as you say. Beating traffic, throwing things out of the window, shouting at people, shouting at caregivers, doing all those kind of things. You're telling them, drop your phone. We're having dinner, drop your phone, but you are on your phone. If you know that it is a no phone zone, you to drop your phone, dear mom, dear dad. Drop it so that they will say, oh, I grew up seeing my parents like this. But what they said, they did. When they see you now trying to canvas for likes, oh, I had only 2 likes on this video, let me take it down. They will do worse. And with every child, what you did is a seed. What comes out with them is a harvest. What you do is 10%. What comes out with them is 250%. Because everything that you have sown is a seed. Your behavior is a seed. They are the one that reap the harvest. Then that's how we have transgenerational trauma, transgenerational behavior. So you must stay consistent as a parent. That's the first thing to do. It's difficult. I won't tell you any lies, but it's doable. It's doable. Very doable. That's why you've been saying you stop eating rice every day. You've been saying you will not eat again after 6 p.m. But at 9 o'clock, you'll go and carry one heavy eba and eat. It's difficult to stay consistent, but it's doable. It's doable, especially when the focus is in front of you. The next thing is connection over control. Listen, I've seen it with my son. He's only 3 years old. The first time I had this connection over control, connect to correct, I kept thinking, And then I realized that the Bible even says that a gentle answer turns away wrath. So my son, one day his father wanted to give him a bath. And then, because I had a class. And then he went, and the boy said, no, I want mama. His dad was also impatient because he needed to do something. And then he went off for him. Hey, no, get it. The boy refused to. He withstood him, resisted him. Eventually, I dropped everything I was doing and I went to him and I said, listen, do you want mama to give you a bath? He said, yes. I said, but right now, mama has to work. Is it okay for papa to do it? I promise I'll bath you tomorrow morning. He's 3 years old and he said, okay, mama. And he went into the bathroom and he allowed his father give him a bath. And that is a 3-year-old, not to talk of a teenager. You must connect to control. Connect over control. You must connect to correct. If you want to get through to a child, you must come to their level as a child so that they will understand where you're coming from. If you talk to them as a person of authority, they will just look and sometimes may resist you, especially with a strong-willed child. Because when you do this, you're building their internal compass. So now let's look at these videos very quickly. I pray that we're able to, if not, I will send them on. It's a video that we need to watch. I couldn't do. It's not opening. Snap. I feel so awful. But I could send them. I tried to do a recording, but it opened on my phone. I don't know why. Anyway, one of the videos, the name of the movie is My Best Friend's Son. So this boy I wish you could watch it. This boy more or less started dating his mother's friend. The mother saw him, and when she saw him, she pounced on him. And when they were talking, the boy now said, I'm in love with her. And the mother pounced on him and was biting him and everything. Then she went on social media and she started talking and telling everybody, this is what my friend did. And the friend was a social media influencer. And so she went off, she started to run her down, and people were now already gossiping about her and her child. The next video was now the father talking to his son. No, sorry, the father talking to his wife. He told his wife, he said, listen, sometimes you will do so much and you will push the child out. It's very important that we know that when you are also trying to, correct them, You are not correct, cutting off your nose to spite your face. And that's what many of us do as parents. I am your father, I will off your lights. I am your mother, I will kill you, I will bite you. Don't do this. It's not about you. We need to also know about the child. We need to know the child. So the father spoke to the mother and said, you need to go and apologize to this boy because you have bruised him. You could have taught him. It's a teachable moment. This is what we talk about, teachable moment. When you see your child has made a mistake, instead of fighting and breaking bottles and biting them and keeping malice with them and all of that, realize that this is a teachable moment, because if he knew better, he would do better. Even if you have told them many times, I tell people all the time, if you have told the child something many times, there is a gap somewhere. Why are you not taking what I'm saying? What's going on? That's why you need to talk often. Talk often to your child. The next video was the father called the boy and said, sit down, who am I to you? And the boy talked, and then they spoke. When the father spoke to the boy, 24-year-old, but he spoke to him on the same level, told him, sit next to me. By the time they spoke, the boy told him outright, Daddy, this is what your wife does that I don't like. This is what she does. He said, you too. At the time when he had connected with the boy, he now told the boy, but you know that you can't date a woman like this. She's double your age. It doesn't look good. Now it may be fun, but in a few years' time, she will be much older, and then you will not find her so attractive anymore. For now, look for someone your age. That boy was soaking it in because his father had connected to him. So for everything that you need to do to teach your children, I'm not going to teach you how to tell them to overcome peer pressure, because you know the things to do. You know what to tell them. You know to tell them to say no emphatically. But what is most important is that they connect to you so that they can talk to you about the things that are disturbing them. They can come to you and tell you, Mom, there is a girl in my class that is asking me to go for parties with her after lights out in university. Yes, private university. It happens here. Lights out. It's time for everybody to go to sleep. But some of them will change, get an Uber, go into town and come back. But they have a girl in the class who is their friend. That one, I don't know what it is. She's a Christian child. And her mom, she's so close to her mom. So she's the one that they will call and say, how far? Is anybody? Is there light? That one will tell them, I don't know. I'm not looking out for you people again. Nobody came to look for you, but I'm tired of these things. I can't do this. That's the one who told her mom everything. You must bring yourself to the point where you can have that kind of relationship with your child. That when things go wrong with them, you are the first person they run to. And the only way you can do that is when you connect to them. Now, the last video, the mother went to meet the boy and told him, okay, come and eat. He said, no, you will not do that to me. You say African mothers don't apologize. You will not use food and make me apologize to you. The woman now said, okay, I'm sorry. And then he too said, I'm sorry. And he laid down flat, Yoruba movie, and he dobale, as in dobale, flat, to say, I'm sorry, Mom, I shouldn't have done what I did. And the mother started crying. And the boy started begging his mother. He knew he's wrong. But because of the way the mother's emotional outburst went, he too wanted to, protect his ego. This is the thing with teenagers. Everything, especially mothers, I hope they're mothers on this thing. We are the ones that are emotional. We are constantly, hey, I carried you for 9 months. You sucked me. You suckled for 2 years. Now you are doing this. If I curse you with my breast, if I curse you, calm down. When you make emotional outbursts, these children are not hearing you. They're not hearing you. So you must connect to them. There is the child that a parent spanks. There is the child that the parent talks to. There is the child that the parent uses eye. You need to know your children. You can have 3 children, but the way of communication and discipline can be 3 different ways. It will not be the same. So you can't use the same thing. I heard a wise woman say, you cannot use the same lens to look at all your children. You have to use all the lenses that fit each child to use to look at them. You can't expect the introverted one to behave like the extroverted one. You must know them. I talk about knowing again. Then you will know how to find them. Find teachable moments all the time. Talk often. Listen, because their brains have not developed to the point where they can deceive you too much. As much as they want to deceive you, you can beat them with experience. You've lived that life. You know what it is. Even if you don't know, you have people like us in the No Conference that are telling you now. You will know when your child is saying less than they should say. You know when their body language is saying, and let me tell you something, most times when a child has begun to get into drugs or risky behaviors, it's a cry for help. That is the time for you to love on them more than fighting with them, because they're crying for help. Something is lacking. An iceberg shows only 15% to the naked eye. The remaining 85% is under eye level, under sea level. Now that 85% is the bulk of the iceberg, and that 85% is the bulk of what is plaguing your child. You can only see 15%, which is the addictive behavior, which is the social media influence, which is all of the bad behaviors that you think that they're exhibiting. Now, why you need to connect to them is that it will help you to see what is underneath that 15%. It will help you to see what they are dealing with, the kind of pressure that is going on in school. A child comes to you and says, Mommy, I don't want to go to school today. I beg you, listen to them. Tell them, it's fine, I drop everything. Why don't you want to go to school? Hey, no, I beg, I'm going to work, or pack your things and go. No, ask them, I have to go to work right now, but I promise I want to listen to you. What's going on? Why don't you want to go to school? What happened? Who is bullying you? Who is doing what? Or is anybody bullying you? What's going on? Let them be comfortable and be safe to tell you what's going on. Then when they tell you, if they want to stay, say, okay, but I have to go to work, so what do we do? They will now be the ones to tell you, okay, Mom, since you have to go to work, maybe I should go here, or I can stay at home alone. Or you will know when it is genuine or when they are just trying to skip school because they want to watch TV. Because you are their parent, you know. So you will know. Then when you now know, you will now go to the school and find out exactly what to do. A teenager wants to know that they can trust you and you will look out for them. If they feel like you are going to go there and start crying, or you are going to go there and embarrass them, they won't tell you. So you must bring yourself to the point where you are their first point of, oh, I'm in trouble, Mommy, I'm coming to you. Or I can talk to my father, or I can talk to my mother. Somebody gave me something to smoke. I'm tired of smoking it. I want to come and meet my mom to say, this is what is happening. I don't want to smoke anymore. Not that they will now be afraid that if they come and tell you, the whole village will hear. You will take them to pastor for deliverance. And everybody that's saying, say, Mommy, your mom called me. Every phone call, Uncle Nee, how are you? This is Uncle Nee. Your mother told me what you did yesterday. How could you? For the next 1 week, everybody's calling them to advise them. Keep their confidences. The next thing to do is teach them identity. Self-esteem is so important. The people who are influenced to do drugs the most are the people who have low self-esteem, I promise you, because they don't know who they are. So when you're teaching, I'm constantly telling them, who are you? Tell yourself, I am enough. If nobody wants to play with me, I can play with myself. I am enough. I am a one-woman squad. And guess what? There is always somebody like them who will gravitate towards them. But if a child feels like they need to please people, that's the beginning of trouble. They will please anybody so that they can be accepted. You must teach them their identity, boost their self-confidence, give them affirmations to use, let them know when you're proud of them, tell them they can do anything, push them, help them, and most importantly, don't be a helicopter parent. When you're constantly watching what's going on with them, hey, you're micromanaging a child. Don't micromanage your child. Watch over them, pray over them, but don't micromanage. They must face life. That's why I said, unless you want to homeschool from when they are born to when they marry and live in your house, you must teach them to be able to boost their self-confidence, that when they go out into the world alone, they will not fall apart or cower. The next one is to set digital boundaries. If you have a teenager, please, when they use their phones, submit your phone 8 o'clock. Since you want to use it for assignments, submit it at 8 p.m. You can pick it again tomorrow morning. And when they bring it, you go and check it. Check everything. You can check browser history. Another thing you can do is, I think there's something they do now that you can actually close some apps. And if they try to open the apps, you get the pop-up. You will get the information. You get an alert that they're trying to open sites that you have locked on the device. So you can find out all those things. There are things like that on Google now. They are making it easier for parents to be able to set digital boundaries for their children. You lock some sites, because these days they have to deal with so much. We didn't have that much to deal with when we're their age. If you check when we're their age, what was it that we're dealing with? You needed to watch porn when you were our age. is, you know how you watch porn? Hey, you go and bring VCR, and there's only one TV that is in the living room. By the time you slot it in, anybody can pass the living room and then they will see we are watching pornography. How are you going to explain that? You can't. But now it's in their phones. Now they have TVs in their rooms. Now, smart TVs, smartphones. They're doing all sorts of things on their own, and these things just pop up. I was watching a video on YouTube one day, and I just saw the thing just popped up. Do you want to watch exercise? And my name is, I said, oh my God, it's what these children have to deal with. And they are curious. So they are going to open it, click it. And once you click it, that's the end. It's like a hook. Becomes a stronghold. Becomes a stronghold. You need to help them defeat this stronghold by helping them set digital boundaries and teaching them early. I always say, teach early. Let your voice be the voice. I said, be the most strong influence, the strongest influence. You need to be the first influence. So that, because there is something called the law of first mention. Whoever mentions a thing to them, the narrative you mention to them is what they run with. If another person mentions it, that's what they will run with. So which narrative do you want to run with? And that means you have to arm yourself with the information that you need to give to them. The reason why you need to do that is because if they by chance get the information from someone else, that's all, you're gone. So instead of you to be saying, I'm not sure, go and learn, educate yourself. Once you educate yourself, then it's easy for you to be able to educate them. Don't do all those things our parents did to us and say, if a man touches your hand, you'll be pregnant. If you smoke marijuana, you'll be mad. It's not true, because there are people that have been smoking marijuana 20 years. They've not gone mad on the streets yet. That's the truth. However, there are long-term negative consequences. There are exceptions, and then what they say that thing, there is the rule, and then there are exceptions to the rule. So some people would do drugs, and then they would, it would ruin their lives. Some people can do drugs for quite a number of time, and they will still be functioning. And one day, you will just see that everything will just fall apart. However, for some people, it starts earlier. For some people, it starts, earlier. Some people just do it for such a long time, and they are able to manage themselves. So you need to go and arm yourself with information, proper information, the truth, and tell them. The next one is role model, faith, and integrity. I talked about that earlier. You cannot be beating traffic and then you are saying that they should be doing anything else. You're wasting your time, because they see you. They see what you do. What you cannot tell them, do as I say, not as I do. That's not possible and doesn't make sense. It just tells them that you are a fraud. And a fraud is not someone that anybody wants to identify with. So, little wonder they don't want to identify with some parents. You also need to teach them discernment. Help them identify peer pressure moments. Help them talk about it. Some of you don't like to tell your children what you went through. They need to know that you are human. You went through it. It has happened. You did it. So this is what happened to you. This is how you escaped. Tell them the one you entered trouble safe. Let them know per time. This is what happened. Let them know. Teach them. It lets them know you're human. I had a client say to me that his mom says that she's perfect. She's never partied. He's a Muslim boy. He says he wants to party. He says he wants to hang out with his friends. But his mother will say, if you go to party, it's haram. You will die. You will go to hell. Meanwhile, he says that his mother's siblings told him that their mother used to party when she was younger. So now they hide to go to parties. He hides to use drugs. His mother sent him to me, and I said, well, you must allow this boy be a young boy and allow him be able to come to you. So we started the whole process of the drug use education and all of that. And he actually wasn't using any drugs. He wasn't. But he wants to just be free and be young. But this is how we push our children to do the wrong things, because we try to say we're perfect. Meanwhile, so when they do things, they think that they're imperfect and they're bad and they're going to hell. You need to let them know that I've done it. Oh, this was the consequence. This was the result. This is what happened to me. It helps them make their choices. Then when you do that, you now teach them. I say, always find a teachable moment. The next thing is practice what would you do scenarios with them. Ask them, if you were you, what would you do? Watch a movie with them. Go to the cinema. Bring up things that you see. Maybe they will even bring up stuff and say, hey, mom, if you see what happened to my friend today, listen to them before you start shouting, hey, that friend is a devil. Avoid that friend. Calm down. Are you serious? Oh, wow. If you were you, what would you have done? And when you are doing that, don't tell them, sit down, I want to teach you today. Just, you can go and buy pizza. It can be while you are washing clothes. Let's take a stroll to the supermarket. While you are doing that, in a very, low, tense-free situation, tension-free, everywhere is good. Just ask, if you were you, what will you do? And let me tell you what I did in my own time. You, what will you do? It will help you to have an insight to how their mind works. Sometimes you hear a child say, well, mommy, there's nothing wrong with that now. I was asking a teenager about sleeping with older women. And he says, there's nothing wrong with it. So what's there? Age is nothing but a number. In my mind, I say, okay. And then I told him later, I said, well, it depends on how old the person is, and it depends on why you're doing it. We now had to have the conversation all together. So now it helped me to see how his mind works. But guess what? His parents don't even know that he has had a girlfriend in his life, not to talk of the fact that he was dating older women. The next thing is to empower them to say no with grace. Listen, no is no. You two learn to say no. Stop taking on everything because you're trying to please everybody. They give you work at your colleague because you want to be liked. Your colleague says, help me do this, I want to go out. You take it. You do everything. No is no. Because if you don't say no, you will burn out, you adults. Not to talk of your child. Teach them how to say no. Tell them that it's honorable to say no because you must look out for yourself too. The Bible says, love your neighbor as much as you love yourself. So it is good to love yourself. Self-love is good. So the way you will love yourself is learning to say no. And when you say no, say it with your full chest. Teach them to say no. No doesn't have to have an explanation. No is no. It is called refusal skills. In peer pressure, teaching peer pressure, withstanding peer pressure, it's a course that I do for teenagers and young adults. You say no. No is no. No is not no and no. Maybe no, sorry. No is no. It's a complete statement and it is a very, very strong refusal skill. Learn it and teach them to say no. I know my time is up. So thank you very much. Do we have any questions that we can ask now? And then we can go ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ma. We really, really got value from this session. It was such an amazing session. If you have questions, kindly type your questions in the comment section. The speaker is already waiting for your questions. Kindly type your questions in the comment section. While we wait for questions, Mrs. Stella, the floor is all yours.
All right, thank you so much. I was writing towards the end, the network was just doing me somehow, sha. But yeah, I got a whole lot. I heard you talk about modeling. You don't tell a child to do what you yourself you aren't doing. It's easier to follow when they see you do it. I like the part I wrote, teach them discernment. Let our children understand their peer pressure moment. Help them identify peer pressure moments. Please, if you have learned anything, go ahead and write. Thank you so much. Ma. I'm just flipping through my notes. So much gotten. Sometimes we forget that even we adults, we go through pressure. Sometimes not even understanding that what we are going through is pressure. Sometimes I ask, that Ashwebi I bought, why did I buy it? Was it very
That you will
necessary
not
I
wear
bought it?
again. You will not wear it again. In
And
fact,
sometimes the money.
it happened to me a few days. In fact, the dress I want to, I asked myself, why did I buy this clothes? Why? Because I have something similar I could have worn. Why?
In fact, I bought one, made it, wore it before discovering that I had the exact same clothes, exact same fabric.
Oh, wow.
And but the question was, why did I actually buy it? So that what will happen? So sometimes we just go through these things without even knowing. But if we're able to identify when we are under undue pressure, when it's social media influence. So, true story, visited a judge house, a house of a judge, with some other ladies, and everybody, they all brought out their phones and they were snapping. The house was really beautiful. Her interior was, and everybody was snapping and doing, short video. And later I started seeing all of those pictures on social media. So, okay, so the reason why we came to the woman's house wasn't really for to do what we came to do. It was go on social media and then start posting. And some people will see those pictures and think that's your life, Abi. They will know that you went to borrow house to look good. And then someone else will see that and is already pushed, thinking you are not meeting up. Some people that snapped that picture like that came in bolt, or some came in keke to that house. But they did video, very fine videos, and it was on social media, on their status and everywhere. And somebody will see it and start shouting, God, when?
God, when?
And then imagine all of that now happening to our teenagers. Just imagine it. That's why we need to be in their lives. Thank you so much, Ma, for talking about connection again. This word connection has been reoccurring since this conference started. Connection over control. Don't just tell your son, your children, that phone, I will collect it, and you are threatening, and that it won't work. In fact, what they will even do with the phone, the 2 hours or 3 hours you give it to them, you as an adult won't do it to 1 minute. But if we can connect with, explain to them the reason, have a conversation with your children, the reason why you think things should be in a certain way. Let them see their future. Help them see. Help them connect with themselves and with their future, and know that so many of these things they are seeing today on social media are just mirage. They are not real. God will help us. Once again, thank you so much, Ma. Please, questions. Do we have comments? Yeah. Tracy is saying amazing session, Ma. Thank you so much. She's also saying teaching them refusal skills. So true. Let's teach our In fact, I think she will talk about her. Coach Tega will talk about her programs for young people. I've listened to her talk about refusal skills. Even we adults, we need to even learn refusal skills. Do you know that there are times that we find it so difficult to say no? And even when we say no, we go home feeling guilty for just saying what we were supposed to have said or doing what we were supposed to have done. She's saying, I talk to my daughter a lot about peer pressure and having the capacity to say no, even when it's difficult. However, I notice she still battles with it. How can I further help? Coach, we have a question for you.
Okay. So, like I said before, there is the iceberg and there is 85% of what we can see. So you need to have conversations with her, and I also need you to look at her patterns. We may lie, we may say a lot of things, but our patterns don't lie. So is she people pleasing? Is it that she's afraid of the people that she can't say no to? Is it because they would? Is she what's her personality type? Is she a natural introvert? Is she someone that just likes everybody to be happy and just feels like, oh, it's her responsibility to make everybody happy? Because you may think that, oh, it's just saying no, but there are different other ways that that this thing is showing up, because that's how life is. We show up in our patterns, show up in different aspects of our lives. Like my husband used to tell me that you don't close doors, and I'll be like, I close doors. And guess what? I now started noticing my doors don't close doors. I don't close microwave when I finish microwaving my food. If I drink water like this, I will leave the bottle half open. I realized that and then sometimes I start a project and I leave it halfway. So it's not only that I don't close doors, it's I don't finish stuff. So it just always shows up in not closing doors, not closing microwave doors, not closing bottles, not, do you understand? Not finishing even conversations. If I have an uncomfortable conversation, I'll just shift myself from it. Bye, 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 bye. I beg, let it just die a natural death. Instead of having that uncomfortable conversation with the person, so that we'll iron it out, okay? So there are more things to look at. What else have you noticed? Is it that she wants to be liked? Is it that, it's a confidence thing? Is it the people? Is it just the people? On what situations? There's so many other questions that you need to find out. Then you can now help her from inside. Even with drug users, I always say this because that's my core work. If you remove the reason why a person needs to do drugs, they will not do drugs again because it's been taken care of. Then the drugs itself, the effects of the drugs is another thing that you can deal with. But then it will be easier to keep them sober because you have found the root cause. So please have this conversation again with her. But apart from having a conversation, I want you to have keener eyes. Just watch her closely, watch her more, notice the things that she's saying. Ask her, go help me get something. Even when she's watching her favorite show. And you don't really need it. Just tell her, get up, go and get me that thing and see what she does. Do you understand? Even when she's reluctant to, then start asking her questions. Is it that you just want people to be happy? Why do you do this? You want people being happy? Or you will now know. Or is it out of fear that you do it? Is it out of being accepted? Then you will know now how to help her. But you must model it for her at home. That's what I'm sorry. There's also a role play role play in the house. Find out, from that role play, you will find out. Ask her siblings. If she doesn't have siblings, ask cousins, siblings, to help you with that. Then you will notice. But it's a lot of work that you have, but it's doable because as much as she battles with it, that means it's something that is ingrained in her or something she has done for a long time. So please just find out exactly. Once you have those small clues and conversations, you will know why she's doing it, and then you eliminate it immediately and she'll be good.
Thank you so much. I hope it helps too. Please, can we get the feedback from you, Tracy? Yeah, I like something you said, and I'm also going to take this home. Check patterns. Check patterns. If your child is behaving a certain way, check patterns. I'm taking that because things can be seen in patterns.
Yes.
The way they do things when something is recurring. And then observe things. And then I wrote here, she said, I talk to my daughter a lot. I want to say, can you talk less and converse more? Coach
And
also
listen
talked
a
about
lot more. And listen.
Just listen a lot more, yeah.
Listen. Because there are things that they
Listen.
are not saying. There are things that, I always say, listen to what they are saying and what they are trying to say.
Yeah. Yeah. So converse more and listen more. Let them do more of the talking sometimes. Just listen. You may find out something because if we talk, they can tolerate some of the things we are saying just out of respect and out of honor, but they just walk away because it's just it's mommy's usual way, it's daddy's usual way of talking. She said also concerning watching addictive shows like Bollywood, how do I help my team with that?
Okay. What about you? First of all, you need to put she said, personally, I detest it so much. There have to be boundaries. Boundaries are so important. They are so important. You cannot tell her not to, or tell him not to watch at all, because they will go and watch it. They will find a way to watch it. They will find a way, either with your phone, a neighbor's phone, their phone, a friend's phone. They will find a way to watch it. Don't worry. But you need to now regulate it. You are the parents, you are the adults. You need to just regulate it. And you can do stuff like, well, you can watch between 9 and 10:30. Once it's 10:30, submit all devices of watching. And then some people say they don't do this, but I like to say that is effective. Do your chores, do this, do that, get it done properly. Then I give you 3 hours of watching. You want to earn extra hour to watch? an extra hour, go and do all this, go and do. You will see how they will race, do everything, and then they know. But they know that it is restricted time. We do restricted eating, but we give them restricted screen time too. Just let them know. For my son, when we're in school, I think they actually now had TV time because I was not doing any screen time at all. So they had TV time in school. So they told us to just allow them watch some things. It helps them. But I still put my foot down and say, nope, when you're done, how long has it been watching for? 30 minutes, shut it down. I'm sorry. When he wants to now cry, I'll say, I am sorry. I have said it's 30 minutes. I know you don't understand time now. You're a small boy. But me, I understand time. It's 30 minutes. Can we go on your scooter and go outside? He will say, yes, I have. And he loves to go outside on scooter. We don't go. By the time you are gone, he has forgotten. But with a teenager, you must let them know that this is what it is. Watch other things, educative things. Okay, this one I'll allow you watch it for 1 hour, 30 minutes, and then we can go on to other things. But that you will say you will not watch it at all, they will find a way. And stolen water is sweet. They will start stealing
It's
it.
sweet.
They'll start stealing it to what? And once they start stealing it to what? Then they will just be doing, oh, it's okay. We had neighbors now when we were younger, they didn't used to watch TV. I don't remember what church they were going to. They didn't used to watch TV in their own house. But when they come to our house like this, hey, they in fact they see TV as if so when we used to look at them that time, like, why you sit in front of the TV like that? It's because they do like they want to swallow the TV. Do you understand? So when we find a way to watch it. Personally, you detest it. I'm sorry. You detest it, but doesn't mean that you said it. Sorry.
So I wanted to understand. She said personally, I detest it so much. Is it the number of hours they spend watching it, or the Bollywood completely is what
Completely.
you detest? So want to know because if it's you detesting the Bollywood, that could be why you don't want
I'm
them to watch
suspecting that
it.
she
So I don't know what part of it, but coach has said it. Just set boundaries and make your house rules work. Set boundaries. There should be time for everything. If you are sure that the content on the Bollywood it's not harmful, it's not a harmful content. Your concern is that they are spending too much time watching it, then you need to help them regulate it. That's what I think it's about. He said, I just don't like it. It's still the question is it the time they spend watching or the Bollywood completely? Everything about it is what you don't like, you know? So that because if you don't like everything about the Bollywood, which means even if they work for 10 seconds, you still wouldn't like it. But if it's the hours they spend, then I think it's about regulation. I think it's about regulation. It's about regulation. The truth is that some programs actually are addictive. I'm not. It's addictive. And also this some of this is coach. Am I right? Some of these contents are built to be addictive. Like social media is built to be addictive. So many of these programs are so
yes,
that's
social
why
media was
we
built. Yes. Yes.
regulate them. It doesn't have any value to instill. Okay, so it doesn't have any value to instill. Coach, could it be that she should also have conversations with them and just let them even tell her what they learn from it? What are the things they are picking from the series and all of that they are watching, so that you'll be sure that truly there's no
I think
value in what
sometimes
they are.
it's just pure entertainment. Yeah, sometimes it's just pure entertainment, and these days we mental health advocates are telling people just do something that your brain doesn't have to, be working at least an hour a day. Just, like social media, even with our scrolling through reels, how many of them really have value? I'm not saying that we should allow them, but I'm saying regulate it. You don't like it, it has no value. Please, can you do this for 30 minutes and go and do something of value for 1 hour, 30 minutes? So that they can know that I'm not stopping you completely. Because if most children, when you stop them, they will resist you. And when they resist you, you will now shut down that wall of, you now make them raise a wall. You shut down that communication that you need to have. So I always say, choose your battle. You will not fight a street fight to lose a. You will not win a street fight to lose a battle. Do you understand? There are the things are that you want to really fight. If this is something you really want to fight, it's okay. I mean, it's, you know why you don't like it. You are their parent. You know why. However, if the when we want to really fight a battle, win a war, hmm, wait, do I want to win this street fight and lose a war? Or do I want to leave this street fight and then have energy for the war? So just
Hmm.
wait. You know what it is. You know what it's doing for you. You know what it's doing to your team. Then you'll be able to know exactly what how you can regulate it. And you must reason with a teenager. These days, Gen Z, Kai, it's not us. So our own, they will tell us, don't, even till now. Our parents will tell us, stop it. We will stop it as adults. So now, my older sister will call me. If my husband tells me, I'll report you to your sister. But lie, I've told him, I'm sorry. It's not that deep now. Don't worry. We're all right. But Gen Z, the way they are, you are careful. You are careful. When Gen Z sent me a mail, she was wrong, oh, but when she sent me the mail, I almost apologized. But I realized, what's going on here? But that's how they are. That's how they are. So we have to be careful. And Gen Alpha coming after them, the Lord is our muscle.
We just started having Gen Betas this year.
Yeah.
So when Gen Beta are already babies now, infants and in the womb. God will help us. Grace is sufficient, and God will always continue to reveal to us light ways
Yes,
to
so
handle these teenagers. So, just before you go, how do we connect with you, your programs, social media handles, yes, and
okay.
all of that?
Okay, so I should have put that last page up. Can you imagine? Okay, so I have I closed it a bit. My social media handle, I'm trying to open it now. But I have a withstand peer pressure. I'm not doing it yet. I don't have dates for it yet because we're trying to open this our rehab for females. And so that's where we are at the moment. That's where all my energy is. However, you can connect on all these different platforms. Those are all my social media handles. I have a podcast that I do for mental health. We have an episode that comes out every Monday. And then the programs that we do, the only other program I'm doing this year is, apart from opening the facility, is a rehabilitation center for women who want to go from addiction to sobriety. Is a conference I'm having in October, and that is a Pain to Triumph conference, Pain to Purpose conference. Apart from those two this year, we continue from next year again. Just staying focused on those. Yes. So you can connect to me on any of these my social media platforms.
Thank you so much, Ma, for sharing, and thank you for shining God's light in that area of female rehabilitation center. I've never had it before. I had it first from you, running the all-female rehabilitation center. I heard that most of the rehabilitation centers are male dominant. We have more of males in the rehabs. But here we are, women can actually walk into a rehabilitation center and all women. So they are being treated, knowing that in that rehab, it's all only women that are there. Thank you so much for shining God's light in that part. Truly, we are called to shine. Just before your final words, um, our next session is by 7 p.m. And this session, I want to plead with every one of us who wants our children to compete in the global space, not to miss that session. It's a session on career and then leveraging on tech space so that our children can thrive. Our session is by 7 p.m. and that session will be held by Charles Onoha, Mr. Charles Onoha. Please, let's be back in the next about 30 minutes. So once again, thank you. Our speaker is out of the studio now. I hope and I believe you have learned so much. Thank you so much for being here once again. Thank you, Tracy. She says, thank you so much, Ma. Very helpful. All right. So thank you everyone for being here this evening. We see you again by 7 p.m. God bless you all. Thank you.